Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Beyond the Summit. Old Zioris back in action, back from PAX East, and ready to get back into some Dota casting. We've got a lot of Asian Dota coming up this week, while our three comrades are over at Star Ladder, and Gods and I are picking up the slack. Tonight we continue on with one ECL match. We've got a best of one between CNB versus Newbee, and then after that, we're going to have... more of the inaugural coming up, and let's see, how are we looking on audio levels? Everything looks pretty good on my end. I will be solo casting, at least for the first best of one tonight. Might be able to grab a co-caster here for the best of three coming up after this, which will be starting in just about 2 hours. So, not going to get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got one game coming up first, and let's hop right into our draft here. There we are.
Remaining.
So, okay, good. Everything seems to be working just fine on my end. I'm glad to finally be back at it. ESL is a lot of best of one, or ECL is a lot of best of ones right about now. And we do have Newbee versus CNB tonight. CNB started off with a first pick Centaur. Newbee grabbed the Ancient Apparition Sand King duo, and CNB grabbed themselves the Dazzle. A couple of interesting bans popping out here, though. In particular, that third ban, Axe, coming from Newbee. That one makes me... scratch my head a little bit. Sometimes Axe is a kind of a viable choice against the Dazzle. Of course, the Culling Blade cuts right through that shallow grave, but Newbee have absolutely no interest in getting the Axe tonight, nor using him against the mighty Shadow Priest. Puck, as well as Void, will be banned out by CNB. Puck, a nice staple mid-hero that would synergize well with this pretty magic-heavy team that Newbee have picked up here, but the Faceless Void, very interesting as well. Newbee will take this opportunity to grab themselves the Ember Spirit, probably their mid-hero, and, well, can't say I'm too surprised to see Ember Spirit still getting a little bit of love. Looks like things haven't changed too much after my short vacation to Boston this past weekend. We do have the stream on a 2-minute delay, but please let me know if there are audio issues. Things should be pretty well balanced out here, but when you're solo casting, as always, keep me on my toes, guys. Do the best we can. Oh god, it's a little loud, Roland. Okay, looks like we got to adjust our audio levels here. Roland's co-casting with me tonight. Jesus, man. Oh boy. Okay, maybe this is a little bit better. Adjusting the audio levels a little bit here, folks. Sorry, bear with me while I get things all squared away. All right, that should be a little bit better. Hopefully, I'm not blowing up your ears anymore. And glancing at chat, it looks like it wasn't too bad. Maybe Roland just had his speakers turned up. I don't believe you, Roland. So, CNB, they'll grab themselves the Lifesteal with their third pick, and Newbee, they counter right away with a Weaver. And this looks like it could be one hell of a Weaver game. Right now, CNB lacking a lot of lockdown. They did first pick Centaur, who has been quite popular for a lot of reasons, Stampede being the main one. And they'll have Hoof Stomp for a bit of lockdown, but not much else besides that. And of course, pardon me, one of the issues when you're running the Shadow Priest Dazzle, he brings a lot to the table, but crowd control is not one of them. CNB, I think, would be well advised to grab themselves a secondary support that has some sort of a stun. A Vengeful Spirit might not be a bad choice, and some kind of a mid laner with a pretty hard disable as well. And it depends on what kind of a lineup they want to run here. For some reason, Dragon Knight comes to mind, but they've already got the Centaur, they've got a Lifestealer, and that would be a pretty intense strength core lineup. But so far, things seem to be looking pretty solid for Newbee. A Bane pick could be possible here for CNB as well. Might not be a bad choice. And no, they'll go with the Rubik. So that will help some of their crowd control issues. He does work pretty well against the Weaver. The instant cast of that telekinesis can often set up for catching Weaver before he can get off the Shikuchi. And well, if that Centaur gets an early blank, okay, we see the pieces falling into place. Perhaps they will have some tools to deal with this Weaver after all. So what are Newbee looking for here with their final pick? Can be a little bit hard to read. These Chinese teams do run that Ember Spirit a little bit differently than they do in the West. It could be a solo mid-Ember, but could also be that safe lane farming Ember that we've seen quite a bit. So they have a bit of flexibility here, and well, we'll let these final bans come out before we hyper-analyze. Newbee will ban out the Viper with their fifth and final ban of this best-of-one match.
Reserve time.
I don't know that CNB would have wanted to grab a Viper here. Of course, a Viper would have given that Ember Spirit a run for his money, but I think at
5
this point they
seconds
have to
remaining.
have someone in the mid with some lockdown. Puck actually would have been a pretty solid choice here for CNB. That silence works quite well against Weaver. And oh boy,
Dire
CNB,
team
they will skip their 5th ban. They run out of bonus time, and there will be
Radiant
no final
team
ban
pick.
coming out. Newbee, they grabbed themselves the Doom. So there you go. They've got their lockdown all set up. And a great hero to deal with the Lifestealer. Bane will make it through, but they've got more than enough to deal with Nakes. Ancient Apparition works pretty well with that ultimate. We've seen how much these Chinese teams love Sand King. And wow, CNB, they grab themselves the Clinks. And, well, Orchid is not too bad against Weaver. He'll get a Lincoln's up, and that'll negate some of it. I think CNB are going to struggle a little bit here. They're just lacking the crowd controls necessary to pressure this Ember, as well as pressure this Weaver. Now, Dazzle Rubik, an interesting support duo. I like the Rubik choice here, but Dazzle is not a hero that, a support hero that can really gank early on very easily. I mean, sure, you've got the poison touch, but he needs some of that early experience, a little bit of that early farm, and I think CNB will struggle a bit in trying to shut down this Ember Spirit, as well as the Weaver, and hell, even this Doom. There's a Tri-Core from Newbee, and I just don't see them getting a lot of pressure early on here. And of course, we'll move into a pause to get things started. Whew. So, throwing me to the wolves here, guys. Right back at it, and solo casting straight away. Do thank you for joining us here on Beyond the Summit. I am Zyori, solo casting for this first Best of 1 series. After this is done, we'll have a little break, and then we'll be moving straight into our inaugural coverage, which is scheduled to start in just about an hour and a half or so. So we will have a little break, and might be able to find a co-caster. It will be Scythe versus Execration coming up tonight as our next series. But anyway, in the context of this game, other thoughts, possibly how they're going to lane this. Newbee do have a couple of options. Looks like it will probably be Doom headed to the mid lane. Roland, refresh me on the roles here for Newbee. Refresh me on the roles here. What are we looking at here? Come over here, Roland. No, Newbee. How are they going to lane this? I need some Southeast Asian Chinese insight here. We have our intern from Malaysia himself. What do you think, Roland? What are we looking at here? Is this a solo mid Doom? Zhao 8 solo mid? No. Off lane Doom. We've got a safe laning Weaver here, and that means it will be Ember Spirit going mid lane here. Thanks for that insight, Roland. I really appreciate it. Well done, buddy. So actually, is there a Dota 2 Lounge bet for this? I'm actually rather curious. Obviously, Newbee are the heavy favorites here, but oh boy, yeah, it's 21% for CNB, 79 for Newbee. So I think that sounds about fair. What do you think, Roland? 21-79? Sound fair for odds? Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to laugh. It's okay. Newbee, you're the favorites. It's all right, buddy. So we'll see a ward come down here from SDN playing on this Centaur. I like that the Iron Man helmet here from the Centaur. So look at a little bit of vision into the lane, and Hal could be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll have Shikuchi, but this is a 5-man rotation from CNB. They want to catch this Weaver. If the Rubik can grab him with telekinesis, they might be able to set up this kill, but he'll just be a little bit too quick. And yeah, I think this initial invade from CNB will be rather unsuccessful. Geez, this new Nakes cosmetic as well. Oh boy, he looks funky. I'm not sure how I feel about this set. It's a little too much. And I leave for 5 days, and all these new items come out, and jeez Louise. And we see a ward here coming down, and oh boy, that is
The battle
value
begins.
sentry right there. They'll be able to block that, unblock that camp rather, and get a little bit of coverage of the top rune. So King J here, he'll be playing on the Sand King. He will be taking over the jungle for the early phase of this game for Newbee. They are on the dire side here. He'll be farming away. It is going to be Banana on the Ancient Apparition, Hal in the safe lane Weaver. In the mid, it will be Moo playing on the Ember Spirit, and it will be Zhao 8 in the off lane Doombringer. Uh-oh, Rubik, he grabbed himself that invisibility rune to get things started. He sees Banana on the high ground here, and I'm not so sure they're going to be able to set up too much. Ancient Apparition rotating in. Looks like they'll put a little pressure on the Clanks. There's the Chilling Touch right away. Flame Guard level 1 comes out from Moo, and that won't make for an easy kill attempt early on, but will help harass him out of the lane. Now, ooh, up top, looks like we could see a wraparound on the old Centaur here. King J coming in. There's the Burrow Strike. Will be on the mark. I don't know if they'll have the damage to secure this kill. Hoof Stomp comes out, and yep, that'll be enough to keep him alive. Let's introduce our Radiant side here. We do have CDN playing on the Centaur War Runner here in the off lane. It will be 5-4-0-0 playing on the support Rubik, still roaming about the mid lane. Dogfights playing on the solo mid Clinks up against this solo Ember Spirit. And here in the safe lane, it will be ACC playing on the Shadow Priest Dazzle. It'll be supporting his good buddy Yu playing on the Lifestealer. We see him level 1 Shadow Wave trying to harass out this Doom. And I'm actually surprised to see Doom having so much of a lane presence here. Boots first, no Stout Shield, no armor. Dazzle should be able to harass him pretty effectively. At this stage in the game, Dazzle works pretty darn well against Doom because everything he puts out is physical, and that lack of armor really makes it difficult for Doom. In the mid, wow, this Clinks, that could be a first blood. It certainly is. Flame Guard build doing some work here, folks, and now he might be able to grab a kill on Rubik. Oh, no. Is this going to be a double kill? He doesn't have the mana for the Sleight of Fist. He will be forced back. Salve comes out, and now Dogfights. He'll port back to the mid lane, but wow, we caught the tail end of it, and Clinks just tanking all that damage. No point in Skeleton Walk at level 3. There you go. He'll grab it level 3 here, but level 2 went for the greedy, strafe, searing arrows, and it'll cost him his life. That's a first blood, and of all the heroes to concede that first death, you really don't want to give it to the Ember Spirit. Very unfortunate for CNB, and now Newbee going to be in great shape. Doom taking some damage down in the bottom lane, but will make it back to safety. Up top, Centaur. Looks like they could have a rotation coming in. Weaver just trying to bait a little bit. He will use that hoof stomp, so now if he comes in, won't have that escape mechanism. Banana just hiding in the trees. And one of the tangos gets eaten. Let's take a look at Vision here. And nope, I don't think they have eyes on that Ancient Apparition. King J just waiting for the opportunity. CND playing this pretty well. Good positioning and just won't give him the opening.
Denied.
Wow. So looking at last hits here, this Ember not farming too well in the mid lane, but that first blood will make up for it. In terms of net worth, he is actually number 1, about 50% up on the Clinks, and both of them kind of lacking on the CS right now. Just sitting 9-2, 9-4 apiece. And we see this Clinks, though. He is just getting zoned out. This is where Flame Guard really starts to do some work. Now going to have it level 3, and Clinks is just too squishy. He can't take the heat, so he may have to get out of the kitchen. King J hiding around the tree line here, being very sneaky. SDN needs to be careful. Centaur is tanky early on, but he is not immune to a 3v1 scenario here, and he has a pretty aggressive position. And nope, they won't find it quite yet. Zhao 8 will go ahead and just rotate into the jungle, still sitting on just boots, hasn't picked up any other items. Now there's a ping coming out. King J shows himself, doesn't go for the burrow strike. Still only level 1, very small radius, and just scaring this Centaur, just harassing him back. Zhao 8 grabs himself a Centaur, does pick up War Stomp, and we'll head back to the well and probably back down to the off lane. Now, one thing that CNB do have going for him is this Nake's just farming away. He is an absolute free farm heaven, 21-8, and he's got Boot, Stout Shield, and about 900 gold in the bank. Not looking like he's gearing for a Hand of Midas. And nope, there you go. He'll pick up the early phase boot. Still could go for a slightly later Midas following these phase boots, and this may be a good game for it. CNB, well, they'll have a lot of room to farm early on, and Newbee have they've got a pretty greedy draft, so perhaps that won't work out so well here, but there you go. Ice Vortex down, there's the Burrow Strike forward, Chilling Touch comes out, Weaver, Shikuchi forward, there's the Swarm on the mark, and they might be able to grab a kill here. The Geminate attack, they'll have one coming up in just a moment, and yeah, I think SDN is dead here. Shikuchi for a little bit of extra damage. That will be a couple of wand charges, that buys him a little bit of time, looking for the double edge, and Hao won't have enough to secure the kill, but does not fall himself. Well, we'll just be 0-1 here as we approach the 5-minute mark. Lifestealer still just farming away, and Doom will port back down to lane. He's not picked up himself some Tranquil Boots and just a casual Clarity Potion. Did grab himself one of the Satyr Tormentors, so now he's got that Unholy Aura, which is fabulous for this off lane. Gives him a little bit of that regeneration, and, well, now he's got some armor as well with those Tranquils, so Doom's life is going to get a lot easier. Looks like there could be a wraparound here, 5,400. He's going to come around the backside of the tower. And I think they're going to try and set up a dive onto Zhao 8, but it will be scouted out. Rubik actually takes a couple of tower shots. Oh no! What a disaster. Scorched Earth comes on, and Rubik's just going to get harassed back. Doom going to actually do a fair bit of damage. And whoa, Clinks will grab a solo kill on the Ember Spirit as we're looking at that. That's my bad, folks. So Doom will be safe, but Clinks will get a little bit of vengeance here. He is now level 7 and does take command of this mid lane. Rubik is, if anything else, persistent. He's going to hide around this tree line, has absolutely no regeneration right now. And they seem determined to pick up a kill on this Doom. Rubik wasting a fair bit of time here trying to make this gank happen, and this just won't be easy. Phase boots forward, they're looking for the Doom, they don't see him. And he's in the tree line here. He will get initiated on. Port coming in. Rubik runs through the tower. That's a Shadow Wave. Going to do a fair bit of damage, but Moo ports in. Bolas connect onto the Rubik. Shallow Grave comes out. They secure that kill onto Zhao 8, but it's not over yet. Flame Guard doing a lot of damage. Looking for the kill on Rubik. Will find it. Pops the Sleight of Fist a little bit early. 2 heroes still very low. They will make it back to safety, so it will be a 1-for-1. Rubik for Doom. Not a bad exchange for CNB, but again, Ember Spirit picks up a kill, which is absolutely great news for Newbee. Moo rotates back towards the mid lane, now level 7, grabs this double damage rune, and doing a slightly different Ember Spirit build than I saw last time I was casting Moo on Ember Spirit. He will grab 3 points in Flame Guard and now transition into that level 2 Searing Chains. I imagine he'll grab level 3 Searing Chains after this. It's all about that level 3 value point. That's when you get the 3-second duration disable, and I have to imagine that's what he's pulling up for here. Dogfights, now level 8 on this Clanks. Brown Boots sitting on a Ring of Aquila as well as a bottle, rotating towards the top lane and looking to pick up a kill. And has absolutely no lockdown to deal with this Weaver, and this is sort of an odd rotation here. Maybe he can catch this Ancient Apparition into the jungle if he pulls a rotation to stack or pull, but this won't be easy. Instead, he'll just rotate and grab himself a Death Pact creep here and just skeleton walk around now. Maybe looking to initiate on this Weaver, but this just won't be an easy kill. I think he'll be able to just to Shikuchi out of this. Unless they can connect with a Hoof Stomp double edge. Maybe they'll have enough to burst him down. How? There you go. Hoof Stomp off the mark. And this will be an unsuccessful gank. This is a lot of wasted time here for Clinks. Sure, he was able to use the Death Pact, but I think he's just going to be forced to walk back towards this mid lane. Rubik holding the mid lane for now. He's only level 3 and just has absolutely no lane presence against this Ember Spirit. Sitting level 8 with Phase Boots. He can't poke forward. If he gets caught by 1 Searing Chains, you better believe those Fire Remnants will be coming in, and that will be a dead Rubik. So Clink's committing very hard to this top lane. He will just go ahead and clear out this neutral camp, and it won't be particularly easy for him. There you go. He'll Death Pact once again. And now there's a rotation coming in from Doom. He'll walk right into dogfights. Doesn't have enough mana for the skeleton walk. They scat out the Clinks. And a bit of a disaster. He'll sip up that bottle. Will rotate back towards the mid lane. But now, Ember Spirit, double damage on. Grabs an invisibility rune as well. And we'll just head back to lane. So, yeah, that was a lot of wasted time for dogfights right there. Let's take a glance at the gold graph here. We'll move into another pause. And Newbee with a small gold lead, but actually the experience edge going to CNB. A lot of that coming from the Lifestealer. Still in absolute free farm heaven right now. He's actually number 1 on the net worth chart by about 700 gold or so. And topping the last hits by about 10 CS. 9 up on the Weaver, who is sitting at 43. What are they saying here, Roland? I need a translator. Put your glasses on, man. Jesus, Roland. No idea. I don't know either. So we'll be, be stuck in a pause. It looks like someone somewhere is having some sort of an issue. That's about... something is wrong. Thanks, Roland. Well, guys, we've determined that there is something wrong. So we'll take a moment here and think about it a little bit. So we're all tied up 2-2. It's been a relatively passive game here, 8 minutes in, and, well, CNB have the hard carry Lifestealer who's farming well. They've got that kind of semi-carry Clinks, but Newbee just have the straight carry advantage. The Ember Spirit as well as the Weaver, I think, carry a little bit harder, and then you've got that Doom, and we'll see what build he goes for with the Tranquils. He's not farming particularly well, but Doom, one of those heroes that is a core, and he will put out quite a bit of DPS, especially once he starts farming up, even if he goes for that more support-based Aura Doom with maybe a mech, moving into a Vlad's, an Assault Kuros, perhaps even a Shiva's. He'll still do a fair bit of damage, and that will give a carry edge to Newbee. So, especially since they're utilizing this jungle a little bit more effectively with Doom rotating in now, and Sand King, he hasn't been doing too much work in the jungle. He's doing a little bit of that do Sandstorm right now, but King J's been a little slow. He's been giving a lot of room to Doom and making sure he can get those levels. Hit that level 6, and he's actually pretty darn close. Halfway through level 5, and once he has that ultimate up, perhaps that's when Newbee will start moving around and looking to gank a bit more in these lanes. I worry about this. I worry for CNB because of this Ember Spirit, though. He was off to a pretty darn good start. He's got his Phase Boots. I believe he has a Bracer on the way, working towards that Phase Boot drum. Yep, pretty standard. Standard build here. I'm giggling at the shitty wizard. I actually saw somebody at PAX wearing a shitty wizard shirt, and it just made me chuckle. He literally came up to me and said, "Oh, hey, Zayor." And I said, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he said, "How do you like my shirt?" "It's the shitty wizard." And I said, "That's a nice shirt, man. I like it." That was his opening line. He was so proud of his shitty wizard shirt that, well, shout out to you, Mystery Man. I forget what his name was, but I remember your shirt, and it was a nice one. Hear that sandstorm music keeping us company here. This Centaur is doing reasonably well in this off lane. About on point with the Doom. He has now hit level 6, so with Stampede online, ganking coming out from Newbee will be a little bit more difficult. They'll have that defensive speed boost to bring them back to safety. And still pretty far off the mark for that Blink Dagger. He's got himself the Tranquils already, so not too shabby. The fact that Centaur has avoided death so far, I think, is quite the feat. Newbee have rotated into the lane a few times, but so far he's been on the money with those hoof stomps and has survived just fine. Wow, that sandstorm is really loud and annoying. Anything else happening about the map here? Not really too much else to report on. Rubik, he's got himself some boots, and oh, there we go. Dazzle's disconnected. That's what we're waiting on. Pesky Dazzle. Going for kind of an interesting build here. He's going to go 1-1-3 at level 5, and of course that means 3 points in the Shadow Wave heal. And this is interesting, not because Shadow Wave is bad, an ability worth leveling up, but this has been such a passive game so far. I almost feel like Dazzle could have grabbed some extra points in Poison Touch and rotated around a little bit more. The great thing about Poison Touch, as I mentioned, of course, it's physical damage. It just works so well against Doom. You can't really zone out a Doom with Shadow Wave as a Dazzle, but you can zone him out very effectively with Poison Touch. And more so than just zone him out, they might have even been able to pick up a kill before Doom hits level 6, before he gets those Tranquils. That's a potential kill opportunity, I think. Just popping open wounds on top of level 2 Poison Touch, maybe even a level 3 Poison Touch. And if you have a rotation in from Rubik as well, that Doom will have a run for his money. But they played it a little bit more passive, and that will help out for team fights in this mid-game if CNB do want to turn up the aggression a little bit. Any other items that I've missed here? Looks like Lifestealer will not be going for Hand of Midas. He's got himself that Robe of the Magi now, just pulling up the gold for the Drum of Endurance recipe. So this will be a little bit less of a greedy game coming out for CNB, and maybe that makes sense. If they have the carry disadvantage, they're going to get out-greeded anyhow. They don't want to farm late, so grab those core items, grab a nice set of drums, maybe start working towards an armlet for this Lifestealer, let that Clinks get up his Orchid, and then maybe hit that mid-game stride and start pressuring Newbee while they're still waiting for their cores to really come online. Weaver's still not remotely close to that Lincoln. We're only 8 minutes in, so it shouldn't be too surprising, but he's got himself a Ring of Health, so I think safe to assume that he will be working towards a Lincoln's Sphere before too long. We will resume, though. Looks like Dazzle has dealt with his connection issues, and we're right back in the action. Moo actually could potentially fall before we come back. Nope, that double damage will just... well, won't do much for him there. He will put down a Remnant, port back, and then he'll be able to scoot back to the lane. Part of the power of that Ember Spirit, he'll be right back to the lane. Didn't miss a single creep. Now, that is just ridiculous, folks. But Clink showing us how much damage he can do to the Ember Spirit, the very low armor hero, taking heavy damage from those searing arrows flying. He does have the Stout Shield, but we will see a smoke rotation coming in from Newbee. Banana and King J, they want to pressure this Clinks, but that's not happening. We'll see dogfights just head back to safety. We'll grab first 2 core pieces of that Orchid, and we'll be porting back to the lane. So this will be an unsuccessful smoke coming from Newbee. Now rotating down bottom. Looks like a push rotation could be coming in from CNB. Glyph comes out already from Newbee to try and repel this push. This will actually be a 4-man rotation from our Dire side. We could actually see our first team fight skirmish breakout. Courier bringing in the Drum of Endurance. There you go. It's now up on the Lifestealer. He's cruising around, a little tankier, slightly larger mana pool, but nope, fight won't break out. Both sides will just back up to safety. Doom will be going for the early mech, has himself the Buckler online, has plenty of armor now, so he went from not so tanky to quite tanky. We'll see Rubik in some trouble here in the mid lane, does get connected upon by the Searing Chains. He scoot forward from those Fire Remnants, and Moo does secure that kill, but he might not make it out scot-free. This tower shot should be enough to finish him off. No, we'll sup up that bottle, and he does survive, at least for now. Clinks in hot pursuit, though. Won't pursue the kill. Fire Remnant onto the high ground, and Moo will be rewarded for his greed. Uses those fiery bolas there, grabs himself an extra 100 gold before he ports back to base. He's got a Fire Remnant down, and he'll just be able to hop back to this neutral camp. Moo showing us what the Ember Spirit is all about. Adds another one to the scoreboard. And there you go. Newbee furthering their gold lead a little bit. Just right back to farming. Roland, how is that fair? It's not. I know. 6.81. We'll see what they do to that Ember Spirit. It is ridiculous. So Hal just farming away up here in the top lane. Weaver, number 8. I've got the silent co-caster here, rolling with the hand gestures. It's good stuff. I like it. But Zhao Wei, he's now level 6. He's got the Doom ultimate online. He also has the Hedra, so he'll have a mech before too long. And now he can start moving around. And oh, if CNB press too far forward in any of these lanes, expect this Doom to rotate in and pressure them just a little bit here. He's just farming away in the jungle, using that Devour to his heart's content, and doing a damn good job. CNB still gearing up for a little bit of pushing action down here in the bottom lane. They will clear up the creep wave, and it's just a solo ancient apparition for now. He is level 6, and cheese and crackers, missing kills all over the place. This Rubik heads back to the mid lane, and here we go. Now Banana going to get dove. He's in trouble, and he will fall. Not much the solo ancient apparition can do about it. That's what I was expecting to happen here in the bottom lane. Not sure why Rubik keeps heading back to the mid. Meanwhile, up top, Doom drops the ultimate onto the Centaur. King J rotates in with the Burrow Strike, and there you have it. Easy kill on the Centaur. Down here in the bottom, Dazzle could be in some trouble. Hal ports down. Shallow Grave is available, but the Dazzle doesn't even get it off. He just falls to the wrath of the Weaver. Meanwhile, Lifestealer will right-click down the tower. He does secure that last hit. But, well, Weaver will just hang out here as well. Will be a tower kill in the top lane, so a tier 1 for tier 1. But Newbee come out way ahead in the exchange. They grabbed 2 kills across the map. Actually, 3 kills. They killed the Rubik in the mid lane, they finished off the Dazzle in the bottom, and they killed the Centaur up top. So Newbee with a huge burst of momentum here. They will take the gold lead as well as a small experience edge as they clean it up across all the lanes. I truly don't understand why this Rubik keeps heading back to the mid lane, though. Ember Spirit now level 11, Rubik still level 5. At this point, if he even gets close to you, if he even sees a solo Rubik, it's just a free kill. Rubik's slow. He's got 1 armor. I mean, it's mostly magic damage coming out at this point between the Flame Guard and the Fiery Bolas, but you just can't stay stationary in that mid lane. It just doesn't work out for you. Blink Dagger now up on the Sand King, and this is where things may start to get scary for CNB. Really out-timing that Centaur. He's only got 1,300 gold sitting in the bank, and now Newbee have a lot more initiation power. There is an invisible ancient apparition in the mid lane, and dog fights. He could be in some big trouble here. No Doom ultimate available. Fiery Bolas come out. They don't connect on the heroes, but Dazzle throws the ultimate. Will he get the Shallow Grave off? Yes, he will. Ancient apparition falls to the Clinks, but this Dazzle, he very well may shatter. Yes, he will. Rotation coming from the Centaur. It will be a 1-for-1. Support for support so far. There is a Doom ultimate online. If that Clink shows himself, he could find himself in a little bit of trouble. Weave, still a few seconds left. Perhaps they can capitalize on this lack of armor. Hal rotating in as well. TP from CNB. Looks like we will see our first big skirmish. And there we go. Fiery Bolas connect. Hal in the front lines. He is trying to isolate this Rubik. And isolate he will, but the Shikuchi will get stolen. Doom comes out onto the Lifestealer, and they will be enough to secure that kill. Centaur, he's taking a lot of damage as well. He falls. Now maybe they can grab a kill on Clinks. No, it's going to be a kill going the other way. Doom in big trouble. Oh boy, 15 hit points to spare. Clinks will get initiated upon now, and he is in big trouble. That'll be a dead Clinks. Newbee are just making quick work of CNB. Now the Dazzle in big trouble. Might have a Shallow Grave. Nope, only level 2. Doesn't have the cooldown. That will be a 4-0 here in the mid lane. Rubik did survive, at least for now. That Shikuchi, enough to keep him alive, but he'll port right back to lane, and if he gets stunned, if he gets initiated upon, he will be in big trouble. There's a Fire Remnant 4. Look how much damage the Ember Spirit does alone. Shikuchi will expire, and Rubik, this is a brave Rubik, 5,400. Oh boy, he'll have the Shikuchi cooldown once again, but this will be a tower for Newbee, and it was an even game for quite some while, but all of a sudden, CNB just falling apart. Newbee with the teamfight presence here, taking a huge mid-game edge. I thought it may be a mid-game edge the other way, but mech versus no mech on this Doom really coming into play in that team fight. And CNB, they just don't have any big core items yet. Clinks very far away from that Orchid, only an Oblivion Staff right now. The Centaur, he's nowhere close to the Blink, only about 1,400 gold. I guess you could say that's somewhere close, but we're 14 minutes in. Centaur needs to start making plays happen. He's their mid-game tempo controller, and right now, not much tempo is getting controlled. Lifestealer, he's got decent farm. Looking at net worth, he was number 1, and oh, how the mighty have fallen. He'll dip down to number 3. Right now, he's got the Surprise inside, sitting level 10. And, pardon me, the Lifestealer is the Surprise inside of the Clinks. I said that in kind of an odd way, but here you go. They'll initiate onto the Doom. Open wounds come out, and this might be a kill. Oh, it certainly will. He throws the ultimate out onto the Lifestealer, so, all right, CNB making a play happen, finding a little bit of momentum across the map. But yeah, that mech really making a difference in that team fight. Lifestealer with the Belt of Strength, probably looking for a basher coming out, and nope, just going for the Sange. Never mind. Going for a SNY, perhaps even a halberd. Rubik just hanging on this Shikuchi up here in the top lane. Finally, he's got an ability that'll give him a little bit of survivability. But this poor Clinks. Literally poor Clinks. Down bottom, looks like we could see another engage breakout. It's rotations coming from Newbee. King J just hanging out in the lane. Of course, he does have that blink dagger, so could just initiate onto this Clinks. Doom coming in, doesn't have the ultimate. And Banana hanging out behind the lines here. And there was a port coming in, but they do actually opt to cancel it. And Newbee will just press forward. Pings coming out all over the place. Weaver actually getting reasonably close to this Lincolns. Has himself the ultimate orb and the Perseverance with power treads and an Aquila. Wow, very impressive farm. And now they'll find this Lifestealer in the jungle. Hal scouts it out. Will steal this camp from him. They won't be able to secure the kill quite yet. Newbee smoked. Rotating in, we see more pings coming out, and oh boy, the greed from the Lifestealer. He knew they were inbound, but he hangs around a bit too long. Will rage, that'll buy him a little bit of time now, and it will be enough to keep him alive. The Clinks, though, he won't be so lucky. He'll get picked off, and that will be a 1-0. Now Dazzle ports in. He'll get hit by the Burrow Strike. He'll have a shallow grave, but won't even be able to get it off. Oh no, Rubik, he'll Shikuchi, survives for now, but it's an easy 2-0 coming out for Newbee. Ember Spirit pursuing forward. He'll finish off the Rubik with the Sleight of Fist. Make it a 3-0. Centaur, nothing he can do. He's still just trying to farm that Blink Dagger up there in the top lane. A glyph comes out from the Radiant side, but Newbee, they'll secure themselves a tier 2 tower kill in this mid lane, and they are starting to run away with it here, folks. 5-14 in the 17-minute mark. CNB, they're just falling apart at the seams. I'm not sure what their plan is at this point. That Lifestealer, I'm just not sure why he hung around. Now, he'll get connected on by the Fiery Bola, Sleight of Fist. He forces out the Rage. Not enough damage to finish off the Lifestealer, but just has no room to farm right now. Now Weaver topping the net worth chart, and the Ember Spirit, number 2, just overtaking this Lifestealer. This is where that Tricor really gets scary. Even Doom nipping at his heels, and even though he's gone for more of a support-based build, still a force to be reckoned with. He's now got a Drum of Endurance complete, and other item pickups here. What's the Ember working on? Has himself a Perseverance. Probably just going for that Battle Fury. And oh, there you go. Arcane Boots now out on the King J Sand King. We haven't even seen an Epicenter yet this game, and still King J is 0-0-5. Still had quite a presence around the map, and this Weaver, man. Oh, he's going to have a Lincolns. This is just such a great timing for this Weaver. Is his recipe actually on the courier already? Yep, there it is. So he's got himself his Lincolns complete. But we'll hold that thought as in the mid lane. CNB, they'll be grouping up for a little bit of a tower push. And in comes the Fiery Bowl as they connect on the Clinks, and oh boy, that is a dead Bone Fletcher. He just gets obliterated. Dazzle, he's on the run. They do have a defensive weave on. This time he'll get the Grave off. That'll be enough to keep him alive for now, but they'll just continue pressing forward. Looks like Dazzle will fall. Doom will secure that kill. Meanwhile, Rubik, he gets separated by himself. Chilling touch onto the Sand King, and they grab that kill. Another easy 3-0 coming out for Newbee in the mid lane. CNB just don't have teamfight presence. They don't have crowd control, and at this point, Newbee are just a bit too far ahead, too much damage, and the supports for CNB are just a free kill every time. That time Dazzle was even able to get off the shallow grave, but what's a Dazzle to do after the grave expired? It's just an easy kill. And yeah, now they're going to lose this tier 2 tower up top. After this tower falls, that will take the total tower count to 4-1, of course, in favor of Newbee. Still a tier 1 tower standing down here in the bottom lane, but probably not for long. It's actually in deny range. I doubt the Lifestealer will deny it here, but will make for an easy push. Newbee might just go for high ground here, and CNB aren't in a position to defend. Lifestealer is still just farming away down bottom, and he doesn't have a TP scroll. Oh, no. Bad news bears for CNB. Now, Newbee, they'll do some damage to this tower. No glyph available for the Radiant side. They'll dive it. Rubik does not have Shikuchi stolen. Could be in some trouble here. Hao getting very aggressive. Clink's looking for an opening. Has that second Oblivion Staff, but still no Orchid out. And this is an easy high ground push for Newbee here. What can CNB do? No glyph, no initiation. Centaur, does he have a blink dagger? Yes, he does. That's the initiation power they needed. They hop onto Xiao 8. They'll secure that kill, but the rest of Newbee hop in now. Moo taking pretty heavy damage as well. He'll be forced to scoot out. They grab the kill on Clinks, and that Sandstorm actually doing a fair bit of damage here. Rubik taking a lot of chilling touch right clicks. King J secures the kill with that Burrow Strike, but he does fall himself. Still looking like to be a pretty successful team fight for Newbee here. Now this Life Stealer, he finally joins the battle. He had to walk back to the base. Might be able to grab a kill on Banana. Yes, he does. Now Moo could be in some trouble. Fiery bolas do connect. Can they grab a kill on this Life Stealer? Yes, they will. Hal still holding his ground. He's going to go hard on this Dazzle. There's the Shallow Grave. Buys him plenty of time. Newbee are just too farmed, though. They've got the sustain, and even though they lost their Doom early on, they will be able to clean this up. The 2 carries in the base going ham. They'll finish off the Dazzle. Down goes the Centaur. We've got exposed racks. And they may be forced back here. I'm not sure they'll be able to finish off this lane of racks quite yet, but still another very convincing team fight for Newbee. And they're one step closer to sealing the deal. I can't believe that Life Stealer didn't have a TP scroll. That could have actually been an easier defend. At the end, he was doing a bit of damage, but now we see a 15,000 gold lead, 10,000 experience. I think Newbee just a few moments from securing this game, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe they'll sit back, farm it up a little bit, but they have a seemingly insurmountable lead at this point. Bottom tier 1 tower still standing with a few hit points to spare. Ember Spirit, he's got himself a Battle Fury. He's cleaving all over the place. Doom's got a Vlad's Offering. And yeah, that Lincoln's is now up on the Weaver. So Newbee have those core items, but CNB with a sign of hope. They've now got an Orchid out on the Clinks, and we talked about that Blink on the Centaur. SNY now up on the Life Stealer. Sanjin Yasha, not a bad item on the Life Stealer, but it doesn't really offer them one hell of a lot here in this game. I mean, it gives them a little bit of movement speed. It's one of those just all around. Yeah, it synergizes well with Life Stealer, but it's usually best utilized in one of those kind of mid-game sort of style matches where you want to take a nice edge in the mid-game and kind of seal the deal. The problem with this Sanjin Yasha is it's going to fall off before it really makes a difference. It's just not doesn't pack enough of a punch. I mean, at least if you have an armlet, you can kind of go ham a little bit. If you've got a basher, you can pray to the RNG gods and hope you can make a big play happen. The Sanjin Yasha is, maybe I'll get a MAME proc. That was a joke. MAME is borderline useless at this point, and cheese and crackers. This Weaver, he's got more money than he knows what to do with. He had an early Lincoln's, and talk about an early item. He's now got himself a Desolator coming out on this shitty wizard, and he'll be coming in,
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
working his way to doing some heavy damage. And this is where that lead from Newbee is really starting to show. The inventories have just such a huge disparity. The Orchid is great, but Clinks is all about that mid game. He grabs the Orchid, he moves around, picks up kills, and that's when you can transition into some more hard-hitting items. We'll see just 2 free towers coming out from Newbee. They'll grab this bottom tier 2. CNB don't even try to defend it, and now they will just press forward. Newbee want to break high ground here. Doom's got himself a level 11 as well as an Ogre Club in the inventory. They'll rotate towards the mid. Fiery Bowl, as I heard that noise, does connect onto the Clinks. The Shadow Wave comes out, and Newbee, they'll make the smart choice. They rotate towards the top lane, recognizing that top tier 3 tower has fallen, exposed racks. Smart play, and there will be a glyph available for the Radiant side, though, so there is a small chance for CNB, but oh no, they'll catch out the Life Stealer. He gets doomed, he gets locked down, and he'll be dead to start off this fight. We'll take a look at the buyback status, and he ain't got it. Now the Dazzle falls, no Shallow Graves coming out. Rubik in big trouble, he gets obliterated. Centaur gets caught by this Fiery Bolas. Easy 4-0, and CNB say, guys, we've had enough, please, it's too painful. We'll tap out. GG, well played. Only 23 minutes of gameplay. 8-26. Newbee. Well, looks like the odds were in their favor, Roland, and they live up to it. 79-21, and few rares were lost on this match, I think, suffice it to say, right? Yeah, Roland's giving us the nod, the thumbs up. That's the spirit. Sign language co-casting without a camera. So, well, a rather one-sided game, folks, and honestly, can't say we were all too surprised. Newbee, CNB, well, they just took it by force. That Weaver, we talked about it in the draft. Lack of lockdown for CNB. That is the name of the game here. Newbee with a tri-core. They basically won all 3 of their lanes. Doom did just fine in the off lane. They had a lot of physical damage, but still couldn't find the aggression to lock him down. Ember Spirit ending 9-1-11. Got the first blood on Clinks. Clinks was able to get a little bit of vengeance around that level 7, level 8 stage in the laning phase, but after that, Moo got angry. He turned up that dial to 11, and he started to pack the punch. Weaver 5-0-11, absolutely no lockdown. He ran amok, ended up with just an unbelievable amount of farm, 600 GPM on the Weaver. So there you have it, folks. That was our first game of the night. That was just a quick best-of-1 series. We are going to have an extended break here, and in about an hour or so, an hour and 10 minutes, we will have the inaugural continuing. We've got one best-of-series coming up for that. It will be Scythe versus I keep wanting to say extinct, but it's execration. Thank you, Roland. You're saving me from dyslexia here. So we will leave the stream on. Yeah, there's the Roland thumbs up. There you go. So we will have a break here, guys, and then we will be coming back. Stream will stay online. We're gonna have some tunes rolling. Infected Mushroom coming up next, and I'll see if I can find a co-caster for this best of 3 series. Thank you for joining us. I am Zyori, back from PAX East, and we'll see you guys in about an hour for the inaugural coverage, which will resume.